Did you know? The story of canned foods began over 200 years ago, when Napoleon Bonaparte offered a prize for a new way to preserve food for his armies. In 1810, Nicolas Appert invented the first canning process, changing the world forever. From fueling explorers and soldiers to reaching every kitchen today, canned foods have played a crucial role in global food security. But how did we get from those heavy hand-soldered cans to the pantry staples we rely on now? And what should you really know before you open your next can? In this video, we'll uncover the surprising history of canned foods, reveal the hidden ingredients that could impact your health, and share expert tips to help you make smarter choices at the store. Whether you're a busy parent, a student, or just looking to eat healthier, you'll find practical advice you can use right away. So, stick around, because what's inside the can might surprise you. But here's the catch. Some canned foods today contain more sodium in a single serving than your entire daily recommended limit. For example, a can of chicken noodle soup can have up to 890 milligrams of sodium per serving. Many also hide preservatives like sodium benzoate and flavor enhancers such as MSG. According to the CDC, over 70% of the sodium Americans consume comes from processed and packaged foods, including canned goods. So, what can you do? Throughout this video, we'll show you how to spot the difference between healthy and not-so-healthy canned foods, with real-world examples and easy-to-follow tips. Ready to become a smarter shopper? Let's get started. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the world of canned foods. Those convenient pantry staples that can be a lifesaver when you're short on time. But not all cans are created equal. Some are packed with hidden sugars, salt, and additives that can sabotage your health goals. We'll show you how to spot the difference with real-world examples and expert tips. For example, canned vegetables may contain added sugar, and some canned meats are loaded with nitrates and nitrites, preservatives linked to health risks. Experts recommend checking for ingredients like sodium nitrite, high fructose corn syrup, or hydrolyzed protein on the label. The key is to read carefully and compare brands. Some have nearly double the sodium or sugar of others. But it's not all bad news. There are canned superstars that are both safe and packed with nutrients. Number 1, canned beans. They're loaded with fiber, plant-based protein, iron, and potassium. Just rinse to remove excess sodium. Number 2, canned tomatoes. They're rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant, and can be even more nutritious than fresh tomatoes. Use them in soups, stews, or pasta for a healthy boost. In this video, we'll break down the most common canned foods, expose the hidden ingredients, and give you simple tips to make smarter choices. Look for no salt added or packed in water on the label, and always compare nutrition facts. So grab a can, flip it over, and let's get into it. Let's kick things off with canned soups and vegetables, pantry staples that seem harmless, but can pack a serious sodium punch. Sodium is essential for nerve and muscle function, but too much can disrupt your body's delicate balance. Let's see how. When you eat a bowl of canned soup, you might be getting over 800 milligrams of sodium, sometimes more. That's about a third of your daily limit in just one serving. For example, Campbell's Classic Chicken Noodle has 890 milligrams per serving, and most cans contain 2 servings. Compare that to a low-sodium option from Progresso, which has just 390 milligrams per serving. That's less than half. Always check the label. Brands can vary widely. According to the American Heart Association, adults should aim for less than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. Ideally, 1,500. Consistently eating high-sodium foods can raise your blood pressure, strain your heart, and overwork your kidneys, increasing your risk for heart disease and stroke. Dr. Lisa Nguyen, a registered dietitian, explains, excess sodium causes your body to retain water, which increases blood volume and puts extra pressure on your blood vessels. Over time, this can lead to hypertension and damage to vital organs. In fact, about 70% of the sodium Americans eat comes from processed foods like canned soups and veggies. But sodium isn't the only thing to watch for. Many canned soups and vegetables contain preservatives like sodium benzoate and flavor enhancers, such as MSG. These additives help with shelf life and taste, but can add to your sodium load and may cause reactions in sensitive individuals. The canning process uses high heat, which can destroy some vitamins, especially vitamin C and B vitamins. So while canned veggies are convenient, they may not be as nutritious as fresh or frozen options. So what can you do? First, always read the nutrition label. Look for products labeled low sodium or no salt added. Compare brands. Some have nearly half the sodium of others. Here's a quick guide. Aim for less than 140 milligrams per serving for a low sodium choice. If you buy regular canned vegetables, drain and rinse them under running water for 30 seconds. This simple step can remove up to 40% of the sodium. Let's see how it's done. Want to take it a step further? Make your own soup at home. Use low-sodium broth, fresh or frozen veggies, and herbs for flavor. You control the salt and skip the additives. Here's a quick look at how easy it can be. If you're short on time, look for ready-to-eat soups with 140 milligrams of sodium or less per serving. That's the FDA's definition of low sodium. Many brands now offer these healthier options. Just check the front of the can. Remember, small changes add up. By reading labels, rinsing veggies, and making simple swaps, you can enjoy the convenience of canned foods without the salty side effects. Your heart, kidneys, and taste buds will thank you. Next up, let's dig into canned fruit, a food that seems healthy but can be a sugar trap. The difference between fruit packed in syrup and fruit packed in juice or water is bigger than you might think. Fruit is naturally full of vitamins, minerals, and fiber. But when canned, the packing liquid changes everything. For example, Del Monte peaches in heavy syrup have 25 grams of added sugar and 100 calories per serving, while the same fruit in juice has just 10 grams of sugar and 60 calories. That's a huge difference for your health. Let's look at another example. Dole fruit cocktail in heavy syrup has 23 grams of sugar per serving, while the same product in 100% juice has just 12 grams. That's nearly double the sugar, and most of it is added, not natural. These added sugars spike your blood sugar and can lead to energy crashes. Over time, diets high in added sugar are linked to obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even some cancers. Animated charts show that Americans now eat over 17 teaspoons of added sugar a day, much of it hidden in processed foods like canned fruit. This is especially concerning for kids. Pediatricians warn that early exposure to high-sugar foods can set the stage for lifelong cravings and health problems. In interviews, nutritionists recommend limiting canned fruit in syrup and choosing options in juice or water instead. So, what should you look for? Always check the label. Choose canned fruit labeled packed in 100% juice or in water. Avoid anything that says heavy syrup or light syrup, both mean added sugar. Look for brands like Del Monte, Dole, or store brands that offer juice-packed options. When you choose fruit packed in its own juice, you're getting natural fructose, not a sugar bomb. And if you can, go for fresh or frozen fruit. These have no added sugars and keep more nutrients. For kids' snacks, try fruit cups in water or homemade fruit salads. Now let's move to another pantry staple, canned pasta meals. These are especially popular with kids, but what's really inside that can? Let's break down the ingredients and see how they're made. Brands like SpaghettiOs and Chef Boyardee are ultra-processed. The pasta is made from refined white flour, and the sauce is loaded with added sugars, salt, and preservatives. A single can of SpaghettiOs with meatballs has 20 grams of sugar and 1,200 milligrams of sodium, over half a child's daily limit. Common additives include modified starches, artificial flavors, and colorings. The pasta is pre-cooked, then canned with sauce and sealed for long shelf life. Over time, eating these meals can raise blood pressure, increase weight, and lead to poor nutrition. For kids, a single can may contain more than half their daily sodium and sugar limit. Research shows that regular consumption of ultra-processed foods in childhood is linked to higher risk of obesity and metabolic disease later in life. So, what's the alternative? Try making pasta at home with whole wheat noodles, low-sugar marinara, and lean protein like chicken or lentils. Add frozen or fresh veggies for a nutrient boost. You control the ingredients and skip the additives. Meal prepping a big batch of pasta or soup lets you control the salt and sugar, and it's often cheaper and tastier than canned options. Try prepping lunches for the week or freezing portions for busy nights. Remember, not all canned foods are bad, but it's crucial to read labels, watch for added sugars and sodium, and make smart swaps when you can. Your health and your families will thank you. Let's take a closer look at the processed canned meats aisle, a section filled with products like Spam, Vienna sausages, corned beef hash, and potted meat. These items are popular for their convenience, but their health risks are often overlooked. In fact, a 2022 study found that over 65% of American households purchase processed canned meats at least once a year, and regular consumption is linked to higher risks of heart disease, obesity, and certain cancers. The main concern is the use of nitrates and nitrites, preservatives that keep meat looking fresh and safe from bacteria. But when these chemicals are exposed to high heat or acidic conditions, they can form nitrosamines, which are known carcinogens. Animated risk charts show that people who eat processed meats 4 times a week have a 20% higher risk of colorectal cancer, according to a 2021 meta-analysis. Experts warn that even small amounts can add up over time. The World Health Organization classifies processed meats as Group 1 carcinogens, the same category as tobacco. Studies show that eating just 50 grams of processed meat daily increases colorectal cancer risk by 18%. A recent expert interview highlights that nitrates and nitrites are also linked to increased risk of stomach and pancreatic cancers, especially in children and older adults. Beyond cancer, these meats are loaded with saturated fat and sodium. A single can of corned beef hash can contain over 1,200 milligrams of sodium, more than half your daily limit, and 10 grams of saturated fat. Product labels and ingredient lists reveal hidden additives like phosphates and flavor enhancers, which can strain your heart and kidneys. Many processed meats also contain mechanically separated meat, a paste made by forcing bones and meat through a sieve under high pressure. This process results in a product far removed from whole cuts of meat, and often includes extra sodium and preservatives. Animated diagrams show how this process works and why it's less healthy. Experts recommend limiting processed canned meats to rare occasions, if at all. If you need a shelf-stable protein, opt for canned tuna or salmon packed in water, lower in sodium and free from added preservatives. Recent studies show that switching to water-packed fish can reduce sodium intake by up to 40%. Now let's break down canned chili. The ingredient list often includes beef or pork, beans, tomato paste, and a long list of additives. MSG, hydrolyzed soy protein, artificial flavors, and sometimes even caramel color. These additives can trigger headaches, raise blood pressure, and contribute to long-term health risks. A single serving of canned chili can pack up to 800 milligrams of sodium and 8 grams of saturated fat. That's nearly 35% of your daily sodium and 40% of your saturated fat in just one bowl. Animated nutrition labels and expert commentary highlight the impact on heart health and blood pressure. While beans in chili are a good source of fiber and protein, the high-fat, high-sodium sauce cancels out many of the benefits. Look for low-sodium or no-salt added options if you buy canned chili. Check the ingredient list for MSG, artificial flavors, and excess salt. For a healthier alternative, make chili at home. Use lean turkey or beef, lots of beans and vegetables, no salt-added tomatoes, and your own spice blend. Try adding sweet potatoes, bell peppers, or even lentils for extra nutrition. Batch cook and freeze portions for quick, healthy meals. Remember, you get the convenience of canned chili, but with far better nutrition and none of the hidden risks. Making your own lets you control the ingredients, reduce sodium, and boost flavor with fresh herbs and spices. Your heart and your taste buds will thank you. Now, let's dive into the world of canned fish, a pantry staple with more variety than you might think. But not all cans are created equal, and the differences can have a big impact on your health. Tuna, salmon, sardines, these are convenient, affordable, and packed with protein and omega-3s. But the way they're packed, oil or water, makes a huge difference in nutrition. Oil-packed fish often use generic vegetable oils, like soybean, sunflower, or canola. These oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which in excess can promote inflammation in the body. Water-packed fish, on the other hand, preserve more of the natural omega-3s. Nutrition experts recommend a balanced ratio of omega-6 to omega-3, ideally around 4, 1 or lower. Most people get too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3, increasing the risk for chronic inflammation and heart disease. Here's a quick comparison. A typical can of oil-packed tuna has about 180-200 calories per serving, with up to 6 grams of fat and a higher omega-6 content. Water-packed tuna usually has 90-120 calories, less than 1 gram of fat, and retains more omega-3s. If you drain the oil, you lose some of the healthy omega-3s along with it. For heart health and fewer calories, water-packed is usually the better choice. Let's compare some popular brands. Wild Planet and Safe Catch offer water-packed tuna with higher omega-3s and lower sodium. Bumblebee and Chicken of the Sea have both oil and water-packed options. Always check the label for sodium and fat content. We asked registered dietitian Lisa Tran for her advice. She recommends choosing water-packed fish, especially for people watching their heart health or calorie intake. Water-packed tuna or salmon gives you lean protein, heart-healthy omega-3s, and fewer calories. It's a smart choice for salads, sandwiches, or quick meals. Now let's talk about one of the true heroes of the canned food aisle, beans. Chickpeas, black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, The list goes on, and each brings unique benefits. Beans are loaded with plant-based protein, fiber, iron, magnesium, potassium, and folate. A cup of black beans packs about 15 grams of protein and 15 grams of fiber, great for digestion, fullness, and blood sugar control. Beans are naturally low in fat and cholesterol-free. They support heart health, help lower blood pressure, and are a key part of many healthy diets around the world. But what about sodium? Standard canned beans can be high in salt. The good news, draining and rinsing them under running water can remove up to 40% of the sodium. For the healthiest option, choose beans labeled no salt added or low sodium. Check the ingredients. Ideally, it should just say beans and water. Beans are incredibly versatile. Add them to salads, soups, stews, or blend them into hummus. Try black bean tacos, chickpea curry, or a 3-bean chili for easy, nutritious meals. Dietitian Lisa Tran suggests using beans as a meat substitute in burritos, pasta, or even brownies for extra fiber and protein. Get creative. Beans can boost almost any meal. Canned beans are affordable, shelf-stable, and a nutritional powerhouse. Stock up, rinse well, and enjoy them in your favorite recipes for a simple health boost. For our final canned food spotlight, let's talk about a true pantry hero, canned tomatoes. But how do they really compare to fresh tomatoes? Today we'll break down the science, nutrition, and best ways to use them. Canned tomatoes, whether diced, crushed, or whole, are not just convenient. Thanks to the canning process, they can actually be higher in certain nutrients than fresh, especially lycopene, a powerful antioxidant. Lycopene is the pigment that gives tomatoes their vibrant red color. Research shows that lycopene helps reduce the risk of heart disease, certain cancers, and supports skin health. The heat from canning actually makes lycopene more bioavailable, meaning your body absorbs it better from canned tomatoes than from fresh. But what about vitamins and minerals? Fresh tomatoes are higher in vitamin C, which is sensitive to heat and loss during canning. However, canned tomatoes retain most minerals like potassium and iron, and the boost in lycopene is a major plus for heart and immune health. Canned tomatoes are a versatile base for healthy recipes. Think homemade pasta sauce, chili, soups, stews, or a quick shakshuka. Try them in curries, casseroles, or even as a topping for roasted veggies. They're budget-friendly and available year-round. For the healthiest choice, stick to plain, no salt-added varieties. Watch out for Italian-style or chili-ready cans, which often have extra salt and flavorings. Always read the label and choose options with the fewest ingredients. Buy plain, no salt-added tomatoes and add your own herbs and spices at home for maximum flavor and control. This way, you get all the benefits without the extra sodium. Here's the big takeaway. Some pantry staples are loaded with sodium, sugar, and unhealthy fats, but others, like canned tomatoes and beans, are true nutritional heroes. Make smart swaps, and you'll boost your health with every meal. Choose water-packed fish, fruit in juice or water, rinse or buy no-salt canned beans and veggies, and use canned tomatoes for easy, healthy meals. Remember, small changes add up. Be your own health advocate. Flip the can, check the facts, and make choices that support you and your family. You've got this. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know your favorite canned food tips in the comments below. Stay alert.